क्लास 2 के चैप्टर 1 की आज रीडिंग ख़त्म हो जाएगी। ठीक है जी। पिछली दफ़ा हमने यहाँ तक रीडिंग की थी। ठीक है जी, अब आगे जाते। What can we find in a garden? Gardens, parks and fields are home to many different plants and animals. Animals may live on plants or soil. Many plants grow in a garden. What plants can you find there? Plants need sunlight to make food. Hibiscus, ixora, morning glory. The morning glory has weak stems. It twines around fences for support. Ixora and hibiscus have woody stems that keep them upright. They do not need support as they grow. If you look and listen carefully, you may see wings fluttering above the flowers or hear a buzzing sound. What animals can you find in a garden? Why are there so many small holes in the leaves? Caterpillar, ladybird, bee, butterfly, grasshopper. Caterpillars usually have similar colors to leaves or stems. This way, animals that feed on them cannot spot them easily. Grasshoppers feed on plants. They are usually green so that they can hide well. Can you spot the grasshopper? Bees and butterflies feed on a sweet juice called nectar, found inside flowers. Ladybirds feed on insects which are harmful to plants. An animal may make use of its shape, behavior, and color to help it hide in its environment. For example, it is difficult to spot a stick insect, also known as a walking stick. It looks and acts just like a twig on a bush or tree. Branches and leaves. It is cool and shady under this shelter. What living things can you see in a tree? Spider, birds, chameleon, bird's nest fern. Bird's nest ferns are shaped like nests. Bird's nest ferns grow in the crooks of trees where it is damp and shady. Chameleons live in trees. They feed on insects. Spiders spin sticky webs to help them trap insects. Many birds perch in trees, especially at night. They build nests for their young. Many birds feed on fruits, seeds, and insects found in trees. Look around a rotting log where it is cool, damp, and dark. What living things can you find around? Some animals feed on rotting wood. Ugh, that must taste disgusting. Mushrooms, woodlouse, beetle, centipede, earthworm. Mushrooms grow on rotting logs. Beetles and woodlice feed on rotting wood. Earthworms live in shady, damp soil. They feed on rotting plant parts in the soil. Centipedes live under logs or rocks. They feed on insects, spiders, and other small animals. Discover more. Ants build their homes in soil too. In fact, an ant nest is full of tunnels and rooms. There are rooms for storing foods, producing young, and looking after the young. What can we find in a pond? A pond houses many different plants and animals. Look at a pond. What plants can you see? Different types of water plants can be found in different parts of a pond. Some plants float on water, water hyacinth, water lettuce. Some plants grow from the bottom of a pond. They have their leaves above the water surface to receive sunlight. water lilies, water lotus, cattails. This is because very little sunlight can pass through water to reach the bottom of the pond. Mosses like damp and shady conditions. They often grow on rocks near a pond. Moss on a rock. What animals can be found in a pond? Fishes live in water. They feed on algae, इसको algae भी बोलते हैं, water plants and even insects. Algae or algae are plants that grow on the pond's surface. Many fishes do not like direct sunlight. They like to find shelter in the shade of water plants. Where are the fishes hiding? Koi like to hide under the broad leaves of the water lilies. Ducks and snails also feed on algae. Look, what is this insect walking on the water surface? It is a pond skater. It eats insects that have fallen onto the water surface. Ponds attract many other kinds of animals. What animals can be found near pond? Dragonfly. I hear a frog croaking. Can you spot it? Ribbit. Frog. Dragonflies like to fly near the surface of ponds. They feed on insects such as mosquitoes, which live near ponds. Dragonflies lay their eggs in ponds too. A dragonfly laying eggs in water. I am the young of a dragonfly. I grow up in water. Frogs like to stay near ponds because they need to keep their bodies wet. They feed on insects such as dragonflies and mosquitoes. Frogs lay their eggs in ponds too. I am a tadpole, the young of a frog. I grow up in water too. Frog eggs. Aha! I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you. What can we find on a beach? Look at the beach. What plants can we find? Coconut trees often grow on the seashore. They grow well in sandy soil under plenty of sunlight. Seaweeds grow in shallow seawater or on rocky shores. There seem to be fewer types of plants here than in a garden. Why? Plants on the beach have to cope with the salty seawater, waves, and the wind. Not many plants can survive here. What animals can we find on a beach? Why are these holes in the sand? Seagulls come here to look for food such as crabs, fish, and shellfish. Crabs live in holes in the sand. Crabs often hide in the rocks too. Shellfish are often washed up onto the beach. A hermit crab carries an empty snail shell or seashell on its back. When the hermit crab is frightened, it will hide inside the shell. As the hermit crab grows bigger, it will move into a bigger shell left behind by other animals. How does the environment affect living things? Different living things are found in different environments. An environment that suits one living thing may not suit another. Look at these environments. How are they similar? How are they different? A garden is usually a bright and sunny place. So is a beach. However, a garden is covered in soil, but a beach is covered in sand. Soil can hold more water than sand. It also contains more nutrients than sand. Many plants grow well in soil, but not in sand. a variety of plants growing in garden soil. Earthworms need to keep their skin moist. If their skin dries out, they cannot breathe. They cannot live in sand. Earthworms wriggling in soil. Coconut trees, on the other hand, can grow well in sand but not in soil. Sand provides a drier environment as it allows water to drain away. Coconut trees growing on a sandy beach. Rivers and ponds are filled with fresh water. The sea is filled with salt water. Some plants and fish can only live in fresh water. Some can only live in salt water. Clownfish, seahorses, and octopuses can live in seawater, but goldfish cannot. You can find plants such as cattail and water lotus in ponds, but not in the sea. Only a few plants such as seaweeds can survive in salt water. Red seaweed in the sea. We care for the environment. Look at this dirty beach. What things do not belong here? The rubbish left by people harms the living things on the beach. This turtle is trapped in a fishing net. When an environment is made dirty or damaged, many living things may not survive. They may not be able to find food, keep safe, or have young. When trees are cut down, the animals that live in them lose their homes. Birds lose their homes and even their young when their nests are destroyed. Living things that share a home depend on one another in many ways. A change to just one type of living thing can affect other living things. Oh no, the flowers are gone. What shall we do? I'm hungry. This is why we should protect and care for the environment. How can we help? We should throw litter into dustbins. We should plant more trees. We should help sea animals that have been washed onto the shore. Ask your parents for help first. We should not take eggs from bird nests. We should not pick all the flowers we see. Get your parents to take you to a library or do an internet search. Find out more information on how activities around you will affect the homes of living things. What are the results of forests being cleared, new roads being built, factories giving out harmful substances that make the air or water dirty? What are some ways we can protect the homes of living things? Think of a project you can do with your friends to keep an environment safe for the living things found there. For example, going litter picking at the beach. Share your ideas with your class.